Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our daily get-together live here on Facebook every morning at 10:30, where we exchange headlines about Mexico, about Puerto Vallarta. We exchange stories, we exchange tips, questions, suggestions, and all kinds of ideas that help us get along better with ourselves and our surroundings here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English-speaking locals. It is Thursday, April 8th, and I have to tell you, you just saved me from a slow, painful death. You did. But I will tell you about that in the news, which also have to do about vaccines and how it's going and who's going next. And I also put together a few choices of things to do if you're trying to make new friends or explore new activities here in town. I'm hoping that you'll enjoy those. But first, let us see who is in the house. Oh my God, you saved me from a horrible death. And I bet you're dying to know, no pun intended, why it is that I say that. But I'll tell you in a second. Let me just very quickly see who's in the house. Of course, Luna is in the house, right, baby? Are you here? Are you here? Yes, you are. Good. Very, very excited as always to be part of the adventure. Dave is in El Centro. Nice to see you. Conchas Chinas is in the house. Great to see you, Raymond. Um, Good morning, Veronica. It's great to see you all the way up in Toronto. Jill is ready to go. She's like, Thursday, let's have some wine in El Centro. It's not even 11 o'clock in the morning, but Jill is good to go. You know, I would be good to go too. If I wasn't doing the broadcast and I had nothing else to do, I would look at one of my bottles of red and I would just go at it. Thirsty Thursdays. I love it. Oakland, California is in the house. Great to see you, James. Um, Dan is excited to go. Are you excited to go? Really? No, you can't go, Dan. I mean, who am I going to hang out with once you go away? No, Dan is heading back to Minnesota. I know that a few of you are heading north, and I know that some of my dear friends are heading north, which makes me a little forlorn. Um, oh no, it's back. Okay, I'm going to continue dying, and I'll tell you why. I will tell you why. It is happening. I will die a slow death today. Um, Marina Vallarta is here. Kelly Casey is just, it's just cuts to the chase. Life. What do you want to know? I love it. Uh, um, Death by, okay, I'll tell you what it is. It's Death by political campaign jingle that has been playing nonstop 1 block away, and it's driving me insane. It's the same music every 30 seconds. And I thought it stopped right at 10:30, and I thought, oh, they're gone. But no, I'm still hearing it, and I'm probably going to go insane by the end of the day. Eric says, Luna loaf. I love it. Well, yeah, she does look like a big feline meatloaf, I suppose. Let's see. Alan, it's so good to see you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend. Let's see who else is here. Julie is in the house from Colonia Lázaro Cárdenas. This is great. Uh, Cliff just moved here permanently from San Diego. Mazel tov. It's great to see you. Janice is finally catching us live. Now you'll see what all the fuss or all the fun is about. Um, Mark tells us that got his vaccine yesterday. So happy to hear that, and I'm glad that there are no side effects. Dan clarifies, not excited to leave. Okay, my bad. I'm glad to hear that you like it here better than up north. But, if you have to go to work, you have to go to work. And oh, Mark, our favorite musical doctor is in the house. Mark, come back to Puerto Vallarta. Just solve your woes here, because you know even if the venues are not open yet or are not open as we like them to be open, you could make a living this year writing political jingles. It's crazy. uh Michael, I heard about your surgery. I hope everything went well, and I hope you continue to convalesce and feel better. Anyhow, let me get started with the news because it is that time of the day, and let's make it happen. Boom. Okay, well, the good news is that apparently the second day of senior COVID vaccination in town, that was yesterday, went much smoother than the first. Vaccination ends today with attention to those whose last names begin with letters R to Z. Now, if you missed the ball and you didn't go, I understand that today is also the day in which anybody that did not get their vaccine successfully can get it today. So we've shared the information as to where to go, and you know the letter of your last name. So the ball is on your court. I hope that those of you that have the opportunity to get vaccinated in this round will do so, as it is an important thing. Yesterday, we mentioned briefly that Andrés López Obrador, our president, stated that adults 50 to 59 would get vaccinated in May. This was confirmed by Health Undersecretary Hugo López Gatell in his daily press conference. Our goal, he said, is to wrap up vaccination of 15 million seniors, that's according to the census, during the month of May, so that we can begin with the next decade, or people between 50 and 59 shortly thereafter. So hopefully I will get my vaccine in May. I must confess that part of me is starting to get a little blue because I see that some of my friends that are slightly older than me are getting vaccinated, and I am getting a little antsy, a little moody, I must say. But I must learn to be patient just like everybody else and wait for my turn. And now, related to my slow death, is this other news item that I want to share with you. I love the opportunity to use the word kerfuffle, and we get such an opportunity today. Yesterday, brigades of two different political parties here in Puerto Vallarta, Movimiento Ciudadano and Partido Verde, found themselves campaigning in the same Puerto Vallarta neighborhood. Well, that's kind of like the Capulets and the Montagues. We don't know who threw the first insult, but the whole encounter ended up in fist fights and physical aggression that ended up with injuries. And this, unfortunately, is typical of local campaigning. I've been meaning to bring you coherent information about the different parties, what they stand for, and what they hope to bring to the table. But it's difficult to even take the first step for me to be able to do that. Yes, some candidates have been officially named, while others pretty much name themselves without the official endorsement of their party. And even worse, at least one party has changed their mind after the deadline by which they were supposed to submit their official candidates. And of course, all parties are promising ambitious promises, such as the allegedly much sought after cable car to the La Cruz monument, or lofty bicycle paths that end in the middle of nowhere, and so forth and so on. But we know from past experience how many times these projects get executed and immediately neglected after they have been concluded. Do I sound jaded? I am. Maybe it's because one of the political parties, the Partido Verde, has been campaigning at the intersection of Francisco Villa and Vienna since the early hours of the morning, and I keep hearing this jingle over and over and over. Still, I vow to continue to follow this and get facts as soon as they are available and as soon as candidates are able to deliver sensible talking points, if at all. Now, I have no idea how political parties and how political campaigns work in other countries because this is where I live. But I have to tell you that the whole process is. I cannot even talk about it. I don't even know what to tell you because you start trying to make like intelligent analysis of who is for what and what they're actually going to do, and it's next to impossible to gather the information one would like to be able to make a coherent decision or to be able to get involved in in a responsible manner. So please allow me to share my frustration with you because I wish I could guide you through this, even though I know that many of you cannot even vote. I assume that some of you are at least intrigued as to what the future of our city looks like. And over the last couple of weeks, and I'm sorry, this is just a little bit of conversation I'm trying to have with you. I keep reading the headlines saying, such and such candidate got close to the gays, and then such and such candidate got close to the religious people, and such candidate promised, to wash the sidewalks every single day. I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy, and the song is back. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. You are not hearing the song, so I'm not going to shed my feelings on you, or my burdens, rather. Let me take a quick look at what your comments are like this morning before we continue with our news. Oh, Carmen and Claudia are here from Fluvial. Maybe you'll have an opinion about something that I want to talk about in a little while, which is a mariachi party that I just discovered, and I want to know if anybody knows about it. We'll talk about that right after the fold. Let me see what else we have. Pam, padim, pam, pum, pam, pam, shabadabadam, bam, bam. Political jingles enough to drive one crazy. Does that mean that there are political jingles where you are, Christy? And I'm so glad you're here, by the way, because part of our content in our leisure section is dedicated to you. Let's see. Michal is commenting on what they've experienced, such a party atmosphere, but again, it's not a party. It's what we want is like facts. Anyhow, I am frustrated about this today, and I don't mean to be, but it is a bit frustrating. Um, the Orange Parade guys were all carrying hammers to nail up posters. Yes, they do that. They take over the city and decorate the city. Rita, I am so glad that you got your vaccine. Again, as of the last 2 or 3 days, I can see my little depression cloud looming over my head because I'm thinking, it's like, when is this going to happen? When is it going to end? And I read the headlines in other parts of the world where the third wave is now in place and so forth and so on. Anyhow, I don't mean to get all negative or anything. I don't. I really, really don't. So slap me if I do. Let's see what else we have. May, I'm so excited. Kelly, you and I must be in the same age range. I'm ready. I'm ready. It's not like I can afford like lots of travels or I can afford to do all kinds of lofty things, but I'm ready. Oh, I love it. You guys love kerfuffle. Kerfuffle is beautiful. Conundrum is a good one too. Thank you very much, Michal. Um, Interesting to see this comment from you, Tony, because my suggestion was just go because it's going to be a kerfuffle, you know? And what I keep reading on the paper is that yesterday went a lot smoother, because people actually showed up by the alphabet. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I've envisioned, I visualized my going to the vaccine, and I figured, if I get there early and they say to me, well, we're looking at people with last names that start before yours, I'll just give my space to the person next to me, or I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know exactly how it's going to happen. Uh, isn't patience the most necessary virtue in Mexico? It is definitely a necessary virtue, yes, but that does not mean that because one is Mexican, one has endless supplies of it. And maybe you're catching me today at a day in which I'm feeling slightly impatient, maybe. And please don't hold that against me. Um, PV is worth kerfuffling over. Well, of course it is. We love our city and we want it to be a better city, and it's just important that we find a way to do it. Uh, Oh, Matthew. Oh, what is that is such a sweet remark. I have to tell you that I have very much appreciated. I appreciate everyone here in the cluster for different reasons, but the fact that you are so knowledgeable and experienced in music has made me very much appreciate your being part of Coffee and Headlines. So even if you haven't been here, please know that you are here in one way or another. Um, Stephanie says it's interesting to talk to the natives to get their perspective on politics. Well, I think so too. But I mean, I've had conversations with friends of mine, and we're all looking at, my goodness, the choices this time around are just so pitiful. Um, After the fold, isn't that a newspaper term? Absolutely. And I shamefully used it. I meant to say after the weather. Let's see. They seem to be painting anything they can. Is that permitted? Of course it isn't. They will just take over any blank wall they can find. And because most people are not going to concern themselves with it, most people will say, oh, well, whatever. But if I had a beautiful wall on the street and they painted on my wall, I would be furious. And you can call and denounce that they have painted, and they are supposed to take it away. But yes, that's the way it goes. Uh, Hello, Noi. It's great to see you. And I'm sorry to hear that you're getting your third wave in Thailand. I hope you're doing well. And I hope you're not having mixed feelings over the fact that Daiquiri Dix is closing in a week. Noi, of course, was the grande dame of the cuisine at Daiquiri Dix for a while. And I know that it was a very important project for you. Um, so many older people haven't gotten theirs. Yes, this is true, and the government is hoping to wrap up all senior vaccination by May. Hopefully, that'll happen. Uh, uh, Thank you very much for that, Rita. It really means a lot to me. As you know, I've been trying to be very careful with my behavior. I've turned down invitations to go to places that I don't feel comfortable in. And I think it would be a really sad irony to be close to the vaccine and to all of a sudden do something careless and boom, COVID, you know? So I'm breathing, I'm taking care of myself, and I'm just waiting as patiently as I can. Uh, Angelo, I'm sorry to hear about that. But your last name is supposed to be handled today, so hopefully you can go. In fact, sometime during the day today, because they're supposed to take care of you today. So go today. There you go. Let's see. Let's see. Thank you for the hugs, Raymond. Thank you for that. Absolutely. Um, Kawabunga, dude, going with the flow. Our time will come. Absolutely. Thank you for that. By the time you get your vaccine, Paco, they will have it down to a science. I really, I really hope that is the case. Tony asks for a reminder of when Daiquiri Dix is closing, and I understand it's closing on the 15th of this month. Let me cough and let me take advantage of the fact that we're switching over to the weather, and I'll cough. Oh, that was good. Let's see what we have today for the weather. I will soon require proof of vaccination against coronavirus, chickenpox, hepatitis A, hepatitis B, and the bubonic plague, says our snarky weatherman. Whatever. It is 25 degrees now, feels like 25. Humidity is low, it's 37%. And our temperature in Fahrenheit is 77 degrees. For those of you that are wondering what the weather forecast is, we can expect a partly cloudy day through the day. A high temperature of 31, low temperature 19. Um, Friday, that will be tomorrow, it's going to be clear through the day with a high temperature of 30, low temperature 19. And on Saturday, it will be clear through the day, a high temperature of 31, low temperature of 18. So the days are still beautiful. They are wonderful. And I hope you get to enjoy them while you can. My sister sends love and patience. Gracias, hermanita. I hope you got your shot, my dear sister. And I want to share some things that I found on Facebook yesterday. By the way, I've come I've acquired a new appreciation for Wednesday because Wednesday is the day in which we show or we share our fourth special feature of the week. We start with Sunday Funday, then we follow with Music Monday, then Taco Tuesday, and Walking Wednesday. And even Sunday Funday, believe it or not, sometimes takes as much time and effort to produce that as all the other special features. But Wednesday afternoon, after we're done with Wednesday, I can take a small break and say to myself, at least one day of no special features. And yesterday was a beautiful, relaxing day. For me, I stayed home, got some work done around the house, advanced in a couple of personal projects, and here we are. And part of the things that I was able to do yesterday is I discovered some fascinating things that are going on in the next few days here in Puerto Vallarta that you might be interested in if you're looking to make new friends or try different kinds of activities. So, for example, I discovered that the Spanish Experience Center is having a class today. Let me not block the important information. There you go. Whoop. Today at 4 o'clock, you could go to the Spanish Experience Center and learn how to make mole verde, green mole sauce. And of course, practice your Spanish, I suppose. That would be a fun activity to attend, if you ask me. And then there was this other Spanish conversation thing going on. This is going on at the Mystic Circle Cafe. This is going on tomorrow and every Friday from 3:30 to 5 p.m. This is in Colonia Emiliano Zapata. If you want to practice your Spanish, this might be the place to go. I would go, but I would show up with my chingonario and I would pollute the conversation with all kinds of foul words that, that might not be the nice thing to do. But if I was looking for people to converse with or making new friends, etc., that's something I would do. James had more coffee than I did, and he's ready to know where the Spanish Experience Center is. I believe it is in Cinco de Diciembre, but of course, the address will be available to you in the show notes unless the address appears here. No, it doesn't. But I do know that it is somewhere in Cinco de Diciembre. It's not difficult to get to. And then I found out this one caught my attention. This is the International Mariachi Joya de Mexico, and I believe this is the same mariachi that plays at the Sheraton. Well, they also play Sundays at 4 p.m. Sundays at 4 p.m. in this place in Pitillal that I never heard of before called Quinta Paloma. So one could go and have a nice dinner and enjoy one of the best mariachis in the city. And this is at Quinta Paloma. I've never heard of this place, so I wanted to share this with you in case anyone has been to Quinta Paloma. If not, maybe a field trip would be in order because this might be a fun party to attend. Again, I know nothing about it, so if you have any comments about Quinta Paloma, please do let me know. I have heard the International Mariachi Joya de Mexico before, and again, it is one of the best mariachi ensembles in the city. So if you like Mexican folk music, this might be a good experience. Yesterday, I also had a chance to spend some time with YouTube, and I said, YouTube, it's been a while. I've been busy, but send me videos that will make me feel good about life. And YouTube said, okay, no problem. And then YouTube sent me some very ridiculous one that I'm saving, some very funny ones that I'm saving for Sunday. But in the meantime, check out this one. And Christy, this is I have you on my mind. What is happening here? Well, I found this particular squirrel that seems to be so excited about getting brushed with a toothbrush that she actually reaches out for the toothbrush with its paw and enjoys just a lot of TLC. And that I watched that yesterday, and it totally made me feel good about life in general. So I'm going to share this in the show notes for you to find. And then you are probably wondering why this dog has not Doug, but dog has such a guilty look on his face. And this is a video of a dog that has swallowed or that has a cicada in its mouth, and it's alive and it's chirping. And the owner is asking the dog, okay, so what is that noise and what are you hiding inside of your mouth? And the dog just stares at her while all this chirping is clearly coming out of its mouth. And it is the funniest thing, at least it was for me. I'm going to share it with you so that you can watch it this afternoon as you get to the show notes. Let me take a quick look and see if there are other questions you may have. Um, I have become happy wearing a mask. No colds or flu this whole year. I cannot tell you, David, that I've become happy or unhappy. I'm just used to it now. And even though when I was out and about in the city a couple of days ago, I saw a lot of people that were not wearing a mask. I'm choosing not to fret it as much as I used to. I'm simply walking around them and just letting it happen. Dave asks a question that I don't understand. What happened to Palomas 1 to 4? Um, David, I wish I could answer your question, but I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe if you try at it again and just give us a little bit more juice, then we will be able to answer it. Um, let's see. Matthew says that mole verde almost looks like pollo encacahuatado, one of my favorites. That is pollo, chicken and peanut sauce. Well, peanuts are a big part of mole sauce. So I can totally relate to that, and I think that is absolutely yummy. I've had it before, and it is very very good. Um, and let's see, do we have anything else? We are at the end of your comments, and we are pretty much at the end of today's broadcast. I'm sorry it was not as sexy as others, uh, but I'm going to start singing this Partido Verde song as soon as the broadcast is over because they are not stopping. It's still going. Maybe I'll just play some music very loud today. Um, as always, I'm grateful for your company. I'm grateful for your questions, and I'm grateful for your hugs, your virtual hugs, and I'm sorry it's a day in which I'm feeling a little. Um, let's see. You can't see me right now. I can only see you, but I'm humbled and appreciative of all you've done on our behalf. Day in and day out, you bring joy, friendship, and so many tours. Oh, that is so sweet, Michael. Thank you very much. I enjoy having a purpose, and having a purpose has a lot to do with you. You give me a purpose, so it is a good thing. It is much appreciated, and I'm reading all your love, and I must be gloomier than I think I am. So I'm gonna stop being gloomy today. I'm gonna have Luna pamper me, and I am going to continue with my day. And remember, please remember, if you suffer from depression, reach out, talk about it, because it is important to talk about these things. Sometimes putting it out there is enough to gain consciousness and awareness of it. But if you require some more additional TLC, there are health professionals that can help you with this kind of stuff. Do not ever let depression take over your life. It is a horrible thing. It is not sporty. It is uncomfortable. It is horrible. So hang in there and reach out and stay connected and stay kind and stay healthy. Don't start singing that Ola Verde song because I'll be singing it all day. And hopefully we'll get together again soon. Have a great day.